Just going to look back on one of the most entertaining moments of the Indiana Fever's season last season that came at the expense of the Seattle Storm. You all probably remember this game, right? It featured this image right here. You see the coach of the Storm, Noah Quinn, realizing that the Caitlin Clark shot was about to go in the basket. Obviously, we've seen what's happened to the Storm since then, and I referenced that game in the video about that. But excluding that stuff because it's not relevant to this. There was some new footage unearthed from that game and that back and forth and some of the viral moments. If you recall, Caitlin Clark told the Storm to stop crying in that one. She had had enough of their whining after the Fever got the best of them and let them know that it was enough. No more whining, no more crying, no more complaining. Stop crying. And that's since become an iconic moment, right? And we saw what happened with Christy Sides and Quinn after that game. And it was one of certainly the highlights of the Indiana Fever season. It came after Clark was celebrating on the court and Skylar Diggins-Smith bumped into her. And, all chaos ensued from that moment on. Really not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. And I think if you're a Fever fan, you had to revel in that moment, except for Christy Sides, who apparently didn't like it for some reason. But guess what? She's not a part of the Fever anymore. Anyhow, some new footage from that game has resurfaced or emerged or been unearthed, whatever you want to call it. And let's take a look at that together right now because it makes me smile. Here's a heated exchange on the court, a little reach in by Diggins-Smith there. There's the screen from Boston. Diggins-Smith didn't like that screen. Reaches again, flailing. Instead, the basket is good from Clark. There's another reach in. She's calling for travel. Clark did travel right there. Skylar Diggins-Smith had a point. Did they call it? I guess they did call it. So, Caitlin, you didn't have a point on that one, but you had 3 points right there as that closeout was a failure, didn't get the job done. And, when Clark is cooking like that, she's going to frustrate anyone. She was wide open on that play. And I think that's what Diggins-Smith was reacting to there. Where was the rotation from the defense? And then there's some of the moments, including the infamous bump when the frustration spilled over a little bit. And the way I've liked to put it is the Storm were in shambles. And you see Quinn there with Christy Sides. And it appeared Christy Sides apologized after the game. But that was one of the, let me give the person credit, their TikTok, Greggy5.518. That was one of the most entertaining moments of the entire season. So when I saw the footage resurface, I figured it was worth sharing so we could all have a laugh together at the expense of one Skylar Diggins-Smith.